my name is Chelsea Johnston. I'm the founder and designer of Just My Style Designs. Welcome to our How to Measure video. Today we're going to be walking you through the measurements step by step. Make sure you've got your measuring kit on hand and we can get started. Okay, so to do the overbust, you want to have your arms out to the side and facing the mirror so that it's clear that you know exactly the measuring tape is going to be straight on her body. Put it around and just over top of her bust. You want to come down to close to where your bra sits on your back. At this point she can relax her arms, making sure that the measuring tape is straight on her body. And at that point, it doesn't have to be exactly tight, but you want to make sure that it's a little bit more snug so that you have the correct measurement. The bust is going to be very similar to the overbust. You want your arms out to the side again. The tricky part on this is that it doesn't naturally want to sit straight, so you have to ensure that it is. So go around, make sure that it's right across your bust at the biggest part, ensuring that it's straight on her body. That's why your mirror is here to help you. You can check the mirror to make sure it's straight on her. She can relax at this point, and that's when you go to do your measurement. So using your measuring tape, again, not too tight, not too loose, just snug so that you can get a couple fingers in behind. The rib cage is right underneath your bra underwire. So when you go to measure this, you want to ask who you're measuring to be tucking the tape right up underneath the bra underwire. So see how you lift it up underneath so that you're not measuring on top of the wire, because that's going to affect your measurement. So you want to make sure that it's nice and snug. She's got it up underneath, exactly where it should be, and then again, relaxed with her arms by her side for you to do your measurement. For the waist measurement, it's typically about 2 to 3 fingers above your belly button, but one of the easiest ways to find the waist is just by going around her body and just playing back and forth with the tape, because it naturally will want to sit where her waist is. Again, don't want the tape too tight, but you want to make sure that it's snug and it's got her measurements as accurate as possible. For your next measurement, it's going to be your hips at 3 inches. So that means that it's 3 inches down from that natural waistline of the measurement that you just did. So from that point, if you need help to figure that out again, go back to her waist, find that waist point, and you can put your finger there. Bring it to 3 inches. It's roughly about where your hip bone sits anyway. Still good to measure to ensure that you've got it at the right point. Then again, helps to have it in front of the mirror, facing you for now so that you can see exactly where the measurement is. But you want to make sure again that we're straight and sitting exactly where we need to be at the 3-inch mark. So for this measurement, you're 8 inches down from your natural waist. Exactly the same process that you would do for the 3-inch, it's just 8 inches down. So again, if you need guidance to find your exact waist measurement, go back to that point where you started. You've got your finger there marking it. And at this point, we want to go 8 inches down. That's exactly at the largest point typically of your bum. So you want to be marking that. Again, ensuring that the measuring tape is straight, that you don't have it on an angle, because that will affect your measurement. And again, not too tight, not too loose, just a comfortable measurement around her body. Excellent. So for the next measurement, you're doing shoulder to shoulder. So it's across the front, and we'll be doing the same measurement across the back as well. So for the front, shoulder to shoulder. At this point, exactly where your shoulder is can be a bit of a gray area. So you just want to have it at a natural point where it's just about at the top of her shoulder points. So you just measure straight across, and that's all you need to do. So for the next measurement, it's pit to pit on your front. Again, we're going to be doing that measurement on the back as well. So for pit to pit, you're just doing from one armpit to the other. Just at that point where you see a bit of a crease, and you just go straight across for that measurement. So for shoulder to shoulder across the back, it's the exact same process as the front. You want to find that point across your shoulder. It's going to naturally be a little bit bigger than your front measurement, normally about 1 or 2 inches. Just want to make sure that your measuring tape is flat and that you have your measurement right across the shoulders. So pit to pit back, exact same again as your pit to pit for the front. Just finding that crease and going straight across, making sure your measuring tape is flat, and that's all your measurement is. Your next measurement is shoulder point to the elbow. So you want to go back to the top of the shoulder where you measured before, straight down to her elbow. Next measurement, elbow to wrist. So the same point at the elbow, down to her wrist, you want to measure just past her wrist bone. The next measurement is a little bit trickier. It's the armhole that you'll have for any blouse, shirt, any dress, any blazer. So for this, you just want to have a loose tape going around where her armhole will be. You don't want it to be too tight, it's going to be restricting, but you don't want it too loose either. So it's trying to find that fine line. So for here, it helps to just follow the shirt that they have on. That's a good guideline to be going by. And you just want to make sure that it's loose enough. The next measurement is the circumference of your bicep and tricep. So you want to measure around the biggest point where your muscle is. Not too loose, not too tight, but it's a little bit looser than your other measurements because you want to be able to flex. And if there's no stretch in the fabric, depending on whether you're getting a blazer or not, then you want to have a little bit more room on that. So you just see how I've got a little bit of wiggle room. That's all you need. So for your forearm circumference, it's going to be very similar to the way you measured the bicep tricep. You want to go around your forearm and you want it a little bit loose so that you've got some wiggle room. So for the cuff measurement, you're measuring very similar to the last 2 measurements. You want to be able to make sure that you can get your arms in and out of your sleeve. So you want to have your hand nice and relaxed and just go around approximately where your knuckles are because that's where it's going to be the most snug. Have it just a little bit loose. For hollow to waist, the hollow of your neck is right at the base of your neck where it meets your collarbone. So you just have it right at that point. Stay relaxed, stand the way you would normally stand, and you want to find your waist point. So one of the best ways to do that is just to come on that side where you found the waist and draw your hand right across. So that's where you can find where your natural waistline is. The next measurement is hollow to floor. You want to find the hollow of your neck again. It helps for the person that you're measuring to hold the top of the tape. They want to stay relaxed and stand the way they normally stand. Make sure that the tape doesn't twist at all, and you just follow it all the way down to the floor. So this next measurement is the nape of the neck down to your natural waist again. So the nape of the neck is if you feel at the back of your neck and tip your head forward, there's a bone that sticks out the most. That's where your nape is. So you want to put the measuring tape there, make sure it's not twisted, follow down, and use the same technique to just bring your finger or your hand along from the natural waist point, and that's where your measurement is. So using your measuring tape, you want to do the nape again, finding that bone, and just going straight down to get your finished jacket. So So for a blazer, it typically finishes just above your bum, so at about your tailbone. So you just let the tape fall straight down and finishing at that point. For hollow to your finished neckline, it's entirely your own comfort level. So you want to go hollow. Typically, an average neckline is about 6 inches down. If you want a little bit more modest, around the 5-inch mark, or if you want a deeper plunge, you just go down to the 7-inch mark. Anywhere within there is a really good finished neckline for you. Based on your last measurement, where you wanted the finished neckline coming to the center, you now want to do shoulder to that finished neckline point. So where you've been measuring your shoulder point, on an angle with your tape straight, down to that finished neckline. For shoulder to bust point, you want to have the measuring tape at the top of your shoulder, coming down to where your bust point is. So you want to make sure that the tape is nice and flat, and your measurement is right at the top of her shoulder. The next measurement is going to be really easy. You're just going bust point to bust point. So that measurement that you came down, you want to go right across from one bust point to the other. So for the next measurement, you're measuring from the natural waist down to the top of the foot. This is your pant length from a natural waist height. So you find your waist point and just go straight down to the top of the foot. So for the next measurement, you've got your low-rise pant. It's typically going to sit around where your hip bone is, just below your belly button. So you want to find your belly button, find that point, and roughly where the hip bone is. Again, down the side to the top of the foot. For her inseam, have the person you're measuring hold the tape in their crotch, and you just want to go straight down against her leg to right below the ankle bone. For the thigh measurement, you're getting your circumference again. So you just want to go around the biggest part of the thigh, have it just so that you can move it a little bit, but you want to have it fairly comfortable and fairly snug. The knee is a little bit trickier as well because you want to be able to have flexibility to move. If you're getting a type of pant that's like a jean or a uniform dress pant, you're not going to have much stretch in the fabric, so you want to make sure that there's movement for her. So measuring the circumference of the knee, you want to make sure that it's loose enough for her to bend her knee. So while you've got the tape here, you can have her bend her knee, and as long as she's got room, it's not too tight, that's perfect. You don't want to have it too loose if you've got a tapered pant. For your pant cuff, you want to have it so that it's, if it's a tapered leg, slightly sitting on top of her butt. For this measurement, you can have a bit of a hand to have them holding the measuring tape at your starting point. This is going to be your crotch measurement from a natural waisted pant. So she has it starting at the natural waist, we go down between her legs, and your finishing measurement is up at her natural waist again. For the low-rise pant, your crotch measurement is going to be starting just below your belly button. It's going to go down between your legs and finish just at the base of your back. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to contact us at info@jmsdesigns.ca.